Hey, today we're reviewing a Ooey Gooey butter cake, right here. So this actually comes from the Prairie City Bakery, and the Ooey Gooey butter cake itself was a cake that's been popular in the St. Louis area. They made it about probably in the 1930s is when it first came about, but this is just a version of that, made by this baking company, and packaged and, shipped all over the country. But, and this kind of cake is exactly what it sounds like. It's a very buttery cake. It's a cake that has a higher ratio of butter instead of flour in it. And it usually comes out pretty flat, and with a pretty gooey kind of texture on the inside, hence the Ooey Gooey before the butter cake in the name. So, and just the way it's packaged and the way it looks like this, would make you think that, maybe this is like a Little Debbie snack cake or perhaps a Hostess snack cake. But, I don't know if you know, but with those kind of snack cakes, what is the most important thing for how good they're going to taste is the freshness. A Little Debbie snack cake that is, more than a month away from expiration date is typically going to taste extremely good. Whereas a snack cake like Hostess or Little Debbie that is within 1 or 2 or even 3 weeks from expiration is likely to not taste good at all. And it's got to do with the freshness of the cake, how long it's been since it's been baked. The cake is going to lose flavor. The texture is going to suffer enormously the older it gets. It's going to become hard and stale. The cake will be much less moist, much less soft, and it really has a huge impact. And freshness is really what matters with a snack cake in general, not just for an Ooey Gooey butter cake. But one thing that's great about Prairie City Bakery is that they flash freeze what they bake and then ship it to you frozen, or to the stores that sell it frozen. Then it is then thawed out, and from there it lasts a week or two on the shelf. But in fact, you'll notice that on this package there's not even an expiration date written anywhere on it. And that's because there is no expiration date while it remains frozen. It's up to the individual purchaser who has the product arrive to them frozen to then put an expiration date handwritten or with a sticker or whatever they choose to do to just remember when was the date they unfroze it, and to make sure they know it's expired 1 to 2 weeks after the unfreezing date. But because of that flash drying process, and in addition, just the packaging itself, this is a thicker plastic than what you would normally see with a snack cake. It's if I were to squeeze on it to produce a positive pressure on the inside, I can feel that no air is leaking out. It's an airtight seal. That's also going to contribute to sealing in the freshness. But essentially, what the experience you get from this is, it's almost like you're getting it fresh off the line, the factory line where it was baked. It's something that you very rarely will get with a Little Debbie cake, unless you just get very lucky and you get one fresh off a truck. It really is as good as you could do, and even in that case, it's not going to taste as fresh as these taste. I'm just saying that from experience. It's in addition, they're able to make their recipe better by doing the flash freezing process because they don't have to worry about it being as shelf stable. The Little Debbie cakes are making sacrifices both towards your health and to the taste and texture of their product in favor of shelf stability. These are things that Prairie City Bakery, due to their frozen delivery method, do not have to consider, and they can make their recipe fully based upon what tastes the best, which I think shows through and through. Okay, so let's open the cake up now and give it a try. comes with this little tray you can pull out. Yeah, this is very soft, very soft. You can see the top, it's almost like it's been broiled. You can see it's cracked up, kind of flaky on the top, flaky texture. Then in the center, you can see almost like a layer of gooiness in that center. And then the bottom part where it's been baked, almost like a sponge cake kind of look. And you can see how this just tears away very, very easily, very moist. Yeah, this looks like a good cake. So let's give it a try. Yeah, just with how moist this cake tastes, you know, I could tell this is not something that could possibly be very shelf stable. So yeah, but yeah, it's got a very good flavor to it. No particular flavor is overpowering. You know, it's not like a chocolate or a cinnamon or anything like that. It's maybe just a light hint of vanilla, and really what you're mainly getting is just that great texture and like just a buttery, creamy kind of taste. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. It's you know, it's not a bad price either. You know, if you get this shipped, you can get it on food service direct as well, in a box of maybe 60 or so, and they come out to about $1 a cake, which really is not much more expensive than you're going to end up paying per Little Debbie snack cake or whatever else you might get from Walmart or wherever you go. One thing I do think is interesting is if you look at the listed ingredients, one of the ingredients listed is, in fact, cream cheese. And I'll take a note to say I don't enjoy cream cheese. I think it tastes very bad, but which is why I was surprised that I enjoyed this cake so much. You know, you don't actually taste any of the cream cheese. It's just a mixture of ingredients, and that's one of the ingredients that I think just is accentuating other ingredients. It's not a prime flavor that you even notice within the cake itself, but perhaps just contributes to the texture and, again, accentuates other flavors within the cake. Yeah, so I think that about does it for the review of this cake. I'm gonna just take one more bite here. Yeah, I mean there's no sense of staleness at all. I mean it tastes perfect. I couldn't imagine it tasting fresher than it tastes. You know, I couldn't imagine what would taste different about it if it were any fresher, because it has all the attributes of being fully fresh. Almost, if it weren't room temperature, if it were actually a little warm, you know, I would have no reason to believe it wasn't, you know, freshly baked. So let's proceed to the next stage of this video, which is to freeze 4 identical cakes for a future review video in the coming years. So, as I said, these already came frozen, so we're going to try our best to keep these frozen. And just, so we got 4 here. We're just going to wrap them up, get them as airtight, protected from freezer burn as we can, so they can survive a long life in a freezer, and hopefully taste just as good and fresh when being reviewed many years from now. Alright, so I mean this has now been wrapped in 2 layers of both plastic wrap and aluminum foil. And now we're going to put it in a Ziploc freezer bag with today's date, March 21st, 2019. The contents, butter cake, and the years to be frozen until the next review date, 10 years. Alright, and today's date again, March 21st, 2019. The contents of butter cake and the years to be frozen until the next review, 20 years. And again, a Ziploc freezer bag with today's date, March 21st, 2019. The contents, a butter cake, and the years it will be frozen until being reviewed again, 30 years. Guess I'll wrap this one more time. I think this is actually 3 layers of plastic wrap that's now on this. Because I started initially with a layer of plastic wrap. Yeah, this has been 3 layers of plastic wrap. It just went on neater. It looked like it had less layers of wrap around it. Just because this is the one that's going to be frozen for 40 years, I am going to go ahead and do the extra layer of plastic wrap on it, a 3rd layer on purpose this time. There we go. And now here's the Ziploc bag, freezer bag, today's date, March 21st, 2019. The contents, a butter cake, and the years to be frozen until being reviewed again, 40 years. Alright, and that does it for our review video this week of Ooey Gooey butter cakes. So thanks for watching.